Hey you there, me here, Craig Thompson, the Booze Hunter with Impromptu Wine Review. Now today, a very special guest, and if I could just take a moment to introduce that guest, it is the 2014 Koomilya Shiraz from McLaren Vale. So look, not only the coolest label on the market, but a wine brought to you by S.C.Pannell. And if you'd like to know a little more around the story behind the wine, I'll provide links, and I'd encourage you to check out the video that Ed Merrison put together for Club Booze Hunter members, which goes into a bit of detail around why this particular vineyard was chosen, why S.C.Pannell chose to call the wine Koomilya, and some of the viticultural and winemaking philosophy that goes into fermenting grapes and putting them in a bottle. So it's super cool stuff. It's a super cool story. Check that out. However, my job here today is to tell you more about the contents of the bottle, what's in there behind the label. So without further ado, let's have a look. And look, speaking of having a look, which I've said 3 times now, I've been having a look at this wine over the last couple of hours, and yeah, it's a wine that really commanded my attention from the first pour, with both its elegance and complexity. So look, on the nose, there's plenty of plum, blueberry, there's some lush raspberry lift, some floral violet aromatics to it, and some McLaren Vale spice. McLaren Vale spice for me is sort of whole cardamom, you know, when you've got your Indian takeaway or you've made some at home and there's whole cardamom pods in there that are, you know, really for flavor infusion and aromatics, and you know you're not meant to eat them and you're taking them out with the cloves and putting them on the side, but inevitably you always bite into at least one cardamom pod. That's what I'm talking about by McLaren Vale spice, and it's a real stamp on McLaren Vale Reds, which I think is super cool, that a region has a stamp. I mean, that's what terroir is. You can identify McLaren Vale Reds by this spice, which today I'm calling McLaren Vale Spice. So now you got the background, back to the wine, plenty of McLaren Vale Spice. Some black pepper, hints of vanilla. Look, there's plenty on offer when you stick your nose in there. So get in there and enjoy what's on offer. Look, when you pop some in your mouth, it's a wonderfully balanced wine. I mean, it's almost an education in front, middle, and back palate. Fine, dusty tannins. There's fruit, there's spice. Beautiful wine. So look, it's not a flashy, opulent, over-the-top wine. It's one you could easily take to a dinner party and everyone would guzzle it back and go, oh, you know, I really enjoyed that. It was a nice wine. There'd be one person at the table who'd taken a bit of time to really get the nose in there and have some slow sips, and they'd be like, oh, I thought that was awesome. You know, where did you get that from? What is it? Tell me more about it. It's that sort of wine that, you know, if you don't pay attention, you'll miss the beauty in it. You know, much like life itself. If you don't pay attention, you'll miss the beauty in it. So there's plenty of beauty in this wine. Be attentive to it. Otherwise, peace, stay awesome, the Booze Hunter.